Good morning, the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Wednesday, July 31st. Looking at impacts for today, a swath of monsoonal moisture, the best one so far this year, pushing up through all of Utah, extreme eastern Nevada, and into parts of southern Idaho and southwest Wyoming. That moisture exits the region and to the east, still lingering on Thursday. Another batch of drier lightning, or a mix of wet and dry, further to the north. We should highlight that these areas in green should be significantly wetter with prolonged high humidity. And on Friday, a mixture of wet and dry lightning isolated for the most part across some of the higher terrain of central Idaho. In the past 24 hours, you can see that precipitation gathering in Arizona. The green shades over an inch of rainfall, dark green over 2 inches, and this is pushing steadily northwards already into parts of the Arizona Strip and into southern Utah. See the leading edge of the lightning through there, and we also had some lightning in our central mountains of Idaho. And some more fire starts up in that region in Idaho, as well as scattered about through the rest of the area. Overall, light initial attack with another dozen or so new fires today. Precipitation over the past 7 days, excluding the last 24 hours, you can see some heavier amounts across the higher terrain of southern and central Utah, and a bit lighter as you head further to the north and to the west, but still a lot of areas dry, and even that first shade of blue, you can consider that fairly dry, just a few hundredths of an inch. Not much different from the past 30 days. So in reality, the past 30 days have been pretty bone dry. It's our first really good slug of moisture that's coming in. Our ERC map is really all over the place. You see some moistening here in our southern areas. These will continue to green up in the coming days. See up here in central Idaho, green circles, very moist, but arrows pointing downwards. These areas should dry out in the coming days, as typically our focus as we head into August shifts further north and to the west across the Great Basin. Now for our lighter fuels, this was yesterday afternoon. You can see that still critically dry across a good portion of Nevada and parts of central Utah. But this was yesterday's observed. With the precipitation coming in, the models forecasting 10-hour fuels for later this afternoon show a modification through here, especially down here in southern Nevada. And this will be the trend over the next few days. Some new live fuel moisture samples are in, and in parts of northwest Utah, you can see that the sagebrush finally getting down to about 100%, which really makes it part of the fire environment now. And down here in southern Nevada, also just above 100%. So in those areas, and increasingly in other areas, the sagebrush will be less and less of an inhibitor, and something that will be continue burning more with the regular grass and brush field. Satellite imagery shows that deep monsoonal moisture. This is a traditional monsoon now, starting to really gather strength in Arizona, push northwards. This will be our main player for today. And so for this afternoon, you can see here on the left, deep monsoonal moisture in that dark green, raining just about everywhere where you see that color, and in some embedded thunderstorms could produce some locally heavier amounts of rain. You can see our fire potential here reflects that moistening on the right-hand side. And also still maintaining dryness on the western edge. That's where the drier air will be, given by this beige shade. Precipitation for today, you can see it coming through here. Some of these pink shades, a ½ inch to an inch of rainfall, and even into parts of eastern Nevada, all the way through the Arizona Strip. That's going to knock them out for quite a while. Now on the right-hand side, the relative humidity tells the whole story. You see 30, 50% values through here. But notice how dry across the western two-thirds of Nevada, single digits to near 10%, and into southern Idaho, southwest Idaho also. So that's where the drier air will focus itself. This moisture moves out on Thursday, but you can see the damage has been largely done on our fire potential map. You can see on the right-hand side, the rainfall we're expecting tomorrow, so the heaviest will still be across eastern Utah, into parts of western Wyoming. These little pin drop areas are a mix of dry and wet lightning over parts of Nevada and into Idaho. And you can see here humidity again, 36, 37, 27%, very high minimum humidity values in the east, but still bone dry, single digits to low teens in our western areas. On Friday, high pressure ridge kind of builds in. We see much drier air given by this brownish shade again across our western areas, more humidity to the east. And you can see again the delineation between little to no fire potential to elevated areas by the brown further west. And you can see through here still some chances of mixed wet and dry lightning up in eastern Idaho. and scattered about elsewhere. And again, humidity levels above 20% in eastern areas, but in the single digits to low teens further west. 3-day precipitation values, you can see some locally heavy amounts. The dark greens are quarter to half inch. The blue shades are half inch to over an inch. Some cases maybe an inch and a half across the Uintas. But you see how bone dry that delineation is once you get into Nevada. Saturday, we notice the Four Corners High building again, starting to rotate through some more moisture into northern Arizona. And so this green area of moisture pushes back up into the eastern portion of the Great Basin on Sunday. Again, you see the green areas delineated through here, drier to the west. And that same trend continues for Monday. That moisture moves out. And Tuesday, another shot of moisture. This one's coming in a bit more of a westerly trajectory and probably will be a mix of wet and dry up here in northern Nevada. And given by the much drier fuels, there could be some more ignition problems towards early next week. 7-day precipitation totals pretty much this is mostly in the first 3 days. 8 to 14-day outlook shows near normal temperatures, near normal precipitation for the most part, maybe slightly above normal in some areas, but as we head into early to mid-August, no significant large-scale concerns as far as we can see. This concludes our briefing. Have a great day.